Up a nondescript driveway on a nondescript hill in East LA lies a building that's pretty nondescript itself. But inside is the center of the science behind how Los Angeles County responds to emergencies and disasters across the county. Today on Countyology, we're taking you inside the Situation Room and the LA County Emergency Operations Center.
Los Angeles County is a big place. 88 cities, thousands of neighborhoods, with nearly 10 million people sprawled across 4,000 square miles. So just how does LA County serve such a vast and diverse region? It's science, from anthropology to zoology and everything in between. The science of protecting county residents, preserving the past, and preparing for the future. I'm David Sommers, and today we're diving into the science behind LA County services. Welcome to LA Countyology.
So we're now in the Situation Room, right in the heart of the Emergency Operations Center. And with me is Kevin McGowan, who is the county's Director of Emergency Management. Kevin, thanks for making the time to walk us through today. So at a high level, explain what emergency management is and what your job is for the county.
First and foremost, emergency management is a profession and an enterprise that really looks at the strategic hazards and threats a community may face, and then works to plan, prepare, respond to, and recover from any kind of disaster or major emergency that may come from those hazards and threats. So it's a strategic resourcing organization, it's a strategic coordination organization. It's heavily involved in communicating to the public. The whole purpose of this facility is to bring everyone together so we can collaborate, coordinate, synchronize efforts in real time. This facility was actually designed similar to like what you see at JPL and the Mission Control Center for JPL. The construct of that is a command and control decision-making process. There's a variety of different facilities and critical infrastructure that exists in the county that really need nuanced and specific strategies on how you would protect the population that resides there. Then when we go into that emergency and the Emergency Operations Center's activated, we have representatives from all of those different facilities. So they have a stake in it. They're going to be here at the Emergency Operations Center, and they really weigh in on what the appropriate strategy is going to be to protect life. We want to make sure that the same message you're getting is the same message I'm getting, is the same message someone else is getting. And that's one of the beauties of here is all of those functions and resources and capabilities are all here sitting right next to each other, happening at the same time.
Talk about the relationship between what Incident Command does and what the Emergency Operations Center does in that active phase of an emergency itself.
Incident Command is responsible for the tactical deployment and decision-making at the operations and field level. Who's going to decide where to send fire engines? Who's going to decide where to establish roadblocks and evacuation routes? However, generally speaking, the Emergency Operations Center brings together all of our partners to think about strategic coordination and strategic resourcing problems. We actually deploy people to embed in that command post structure to then make a solid connection between what is going on at the Emergency Operations Center as a facility and then what's taking place out in the field. A scenario for this would be you have a wildfire. Incident Command is responding to that wildfire. They are deploying their resources to protect life and property. And the incident commanders are going to make a decision to say, this area needs to be under an evacuation order, and this area needs to be under an evacuation warning. Our emergency manager that's out in the command post will communicate back to the Emergency Operations Center, and our alert and warning team will send out mass notification. So evacuations are infinitely complex. They seem easy. Just tell these people to leave this area because it's at risk. But the reality is our infrastructure, our society and communities are designed for everyday use, not an evacuation under an emergency. So when you have a large community and you're going to tell them in the middle of the night that they need to leave, you've just exceeded the capacity of those areas probably and like what they were designed for.
Kevin, I kind of feel like we're on the bridge of the Enterprise here looking at the view screen. What are all these different grids and names and codes?
One unique thing that our Emergency Operations Center does, it is the organization that sends out emergency notifications, alerts, and warnings to the community. In short, this is our Genesis EVAC solution to identifying a bunch of geographical areas throughout the county. We've designed this gridded system throughout the county. The system takes into account transportation, corridors, the topography, the density of population, a variety of factors, and then it kind of develops what it believes a decent solution for what would be a geographical area that would be suitable for a zone. So prior to the creation of zones, you used to hear this. West of Street X, east of Street Y, north of Street 0, and south of Street 1. Now we can all say, hey, Pasadena E017 is an area at risk. And now every single person that has access to this on their phone, on a mobile dashboard computer, or a mobile data computer, or here in the EOC, they can immediately know Pasadena 017 is at risk. This is a public-facing tool. So as these things get updated, you can see them in real time, both on the LA County Emergency site and on the Genesis public-facing site. It's an internal coordination and decision-making support resource, and it's an external communication and situational awareness tool.
You know, once the shaking stops, once the flames are out, then there's all the long tail strategic work of actually recovering. Is that an accurate summation of how this work goes far beyond just the incident and the emergency itself? Is that you and your team are so involved in how communities actually recover?
It's when the emergency first starts is when our recovery starts, and a huge element of the Emergency Operations Center is initiating those recovery steps to get people back up on their feet, even while the emergency is still occurring.
You mentioned how there's something like 1.5 million unincorporated area residents, and some of them are in very geographically isolated, distant communities. I think about like Topanga Canyon, for example, or Acton, Castaic, where evacuation or resources are going to be a challenge. What do you do beyond this building itself to work with unincorporated communities?
We have people within our team who lead community preparedness efforts. We really invest a lot of time prior to any disaster being out there, making those relationships and building them.
I remember the first time I saw this building, clip in the classic disaster movie Volcano. You see, Don Cheadle running around, and there's lava spewing out of the La Brea tar pits, and people may think about what emergency management looks like from what they see in the movies and TV.
Yeah, I love movies. This is where movies get it wrong. The feeling in the room is one of extreme importance. There's pressure, but the operating tempo in here is what you would expect from a highly professional team.
Kevin, if there was one thing that you wish the public knew, one thing you wish they understood about this work, what is a main takeaway?
So one thing that has really come to light over the last 6-7 years is there has not been one year that has gone by in LA County where we have not proclaimed a local emergency. And what that means to the community is this, is the Office of Emergency Management, for about 75% of its time over the last 7 years, has been actively responding to and recovering from emergencies. Disasters are always going to have some novelty to them. And so there's always going to be these opportunities that come out of these disasters to say, hey, can we do this even better next time?
Disasters in Los Angeles County can take a lot of different forms. Fire ecology in connection to wildfires, hydrology with floods, geomorphology and landslides. How all of those ologies come together and how science connects emergency management and disaster services in LA County is exactly what we learned about today here in the Office of Emergency Management for LA County. Until next time, as we continue to dig in and discover, we'll see you here on LA Countyology.